and welcome to Gathered Makes. In this video we're going to show you how to frame a cross stitch using the lacing technique. We like the lacing technique because you don't need any extra materials other than what you already have. First off, you're going to need to cut your cross stitch down so that you have roughly 2 inches of fabric all the way around your mount board. Next, you need to pin your fabric in place. Now you can use any clips you have floating around the house. I'm just using bobby pins. I find them quite easy to use because they can be really easily adjusted and you can move the fabric around to make sure that it's in the right place. Here I'm just tucking the edges in and under and pinning them in place. Next up, take your embroidery thread, cut a length of about 30 inches. Not too long, otherwise it will be difficult to thread. We will only be using 3 strands of thread, so you will need to separate these. There are 6 in total per thread, and I find the easiest way is just to gently hold the thread in one hand and pull away each strand. Once you've got your 3 strands, just tie a knot at one end. You can make this a double knot just to make sure it's secure, and trim away any excess thread. So take your needle and push it through underneath one side and pull it through, so that will hide the knot. Then I'm just moving my clip here down to the other side to make sure it's out of the way. Then you can push the needle back through the other side on top of the fabric and pull it through. Just make sure your needle's on the right side of the thread. And then just repeat this step, going back and forth across the same side of the fabric, leaving about an inch gap between each stitch. Okay, so I've come to the end of my thread here, which is absolutely fine, and I'm just pulling it a bit tighter to sort of get that tension. What I'm going to do is just go back through the fabric and loop it around just to sort of keep that tension. Once I've looped it, I'm just tying a knot underneath the folded fabric just to keep it in place. here I'm just moving the clips up to the side, which I've already threaded, and I'm going to repeat the process of what I've just done with my other thread, and you're just going to do exactly the same as we just showed you, just threading up and down across that same side. So here I've come to the end of this side, and I'm just looping around the fabric again a couple of times and then tying it in a knot to keep it secure and to keep the tension. Okay, so moving on to the opposite sides, we've already tucked the fabric in the corners, and we just want to go in up through this double layer of fabric with the needle. Then we can pull it down, creating the tension to the opposite side of the fabric. And go in the top of that fold, which is also a double layer. And then just pull the thread tightly and continue with the same method as we did on the opposite side. Okay, so I've changed my thread again, and I'm starting from the opposite end this time, and doing the same as we did on the other side. So bringing that needle down and through the top, creating the same tension, and you're just going to work your way along the fabric as you did on the opposite side. So I've come to the end of my thread, and I'm just looping it around the fabric as I did before, and I'll be knotting it underneath the fold. I won't be going all the way to the middle of the fabric. I will just end the lacing here, as the tension is quite strong on either side and throughout the middle on the opposite side. I don't really feel like I need to go right to the middle. So that's your lacing finished, so now you're ready to put your laced cross stitch into your frame. I've just got this little white frame here. I don't have any glass in it, but you can use glass as well if you prefer. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to leave the back on show. However, you'd be putting your piece of mount board in behind the fabric, so this would actually be hidden. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. If you would like any more hints and tips, please visit gathered.how. Thanks for watching.